Hello and welcome to Heavy Metal Rex. My name is Wace, and today I finally got something that people have been requesting me to get for some time. I don't know why they've been requesting it, but I also don't know why it took me this long to get it. And it is the steering wheel. And man, let me tell you, the second I took that thing out of the box, I cannot even believe it's taken me this long. It feels phenomenal. So Rexpeed actually sent me a couple of parts, which I'm very thankful about. They sent me a steering wheel finally, and the LED fog bezels, which I feel like I've seen everybody else get them, and originally I wasn't going to get them. And the more I saw more people with them, I kind of wanted to pick them up myself. And the ones that I got actually have the turn signal in them, kind of like how Cody on Street Inspired, he has the same version. I think they're probably from, my guess is they're exactly the same, but mine came from Rexpeed. So now you probably saw Monk WRX actually did a giveaway because he worked with Rexpeed when he hit 25,000 followers on Instagram. And Rexpeed is a really great place if you're looking for carbon fiber parts for a multitude of different cars. I know for the 22WRX, they have released all kinds of stuff. Now, personally, I'm not a big proponent of carbon fiber because of the looks, but I can definitely appreciate the kind of weight savings it can provide. And some people love the look, and especially on the white, it actually does look really good. So if you're looking for some carbon fiber parts or even some of these parts that I have here, definitely check out their website. I don't have a code for them yet. I actually do need to get that. I don't know why. I'm just now thinking about this, but as soon as I find one, I will make sure to put it down for you. Chances are it's going to be Heavy Metal Rex, but this really shouldn't take very long. I've already kind of started messing around with the LED fog bezel, and I ran into one issue right away, which is not an issue you guys are going to run into. It's something that I did, so we'll talk about that. Anyway, let me show you guys the parts. Now check out this bevy of goodies. We got the LED fog bezel, we've got the steering wheel, and let me get you guys a little bit closer to the steering wheel because there's so much I want to talk about here. I'm so glad that they asked me what kind of customizations I wanted on it, and I actually got the black suede, the white center line, and white stitching, and I gotta say, I am in love. As soon as I take off the OEM steering wheel, we'll actually put these side by side so you can see, because what's crazy about this one, what I love about it, is there's so much more steering wheel for me to grip here, and this is considerably thicker, and I gotta say, it feels fantastic. Now, what I really like about the LED fog bezel is the inside is piano black, but the rest of it, because this is, I believe it's JDM spec, is actually crystal silica black, so it does have the shimmery gold flakes in it or whatever, and I love that because it will match with the hood scoop, it's gonna match with the trunk spoiler, and pretty much everything else I get. I generally tend to get crystal silica black because it just contrasts really well with the white. So installation of this is pretty easy. You actually just need to pop out the front OEM bezel, and there's already a plug here, and I was actually checking on this side. The plug is already, I was actually able to pull it out. It's cut up with pink tape in here, and so it was pretty easy to pull this out. The other side, same thing. There is pink tape. I was able to actually it was already hanging outside by itself. It's this plug right here. And so it should be a fairly plug and play assembly. Now, because this does have the turn signal in it, there is a separate cable, this yellow one right here. I will have to splice this into the turn signal, which they did give these very interesting plugs, but I'm going to run into an issue that I've already noticing, because once I actually tap this into the turn signal, what's going to happen is every time I take off the bumper, this is going to be still plugged up. So I've got to think of a solution. What I was thinking about doing is, I don't know exactly what they're called, but they're little plastic clips that you can put a cable on both sides and they clip into each other, basically making a switch, or not a switch, like a plug, a male and a female plug. So I'm going to have to do something like that, but it won't happen until next time. I actually didn't notice that until right now, but like I said, I've already got one off just to make sure like I kind of knew what I'm doing. What ended up happening, and here, let me show you guys exactly what I ran into, because this is my own handiwork that I did. Now, some of you may recall that I actually bolted my lip to the bumper. Now, the issue is this part right here, this part right here, at the bottom of the lip, you normally have to put in a screw, a self-tapping screw or something. Well, this exact area is where this piece actually is. And so in order for this to come off, right here, in order for this to come off, I had to undo that. So same thing's going to end up happening on this side. If you don't have a lip, you're not going to have to worry about that. See this right here? This is the screw that I need to take out because that's what's holding the bezel in. Besides that, it's actually really easy. Once you have that out, there is another pop clip up here. So now I can't see where it is. It's physically somewhere up here. Let me show you on this side. Oh, pop clip's right here. Pop clip's right here. Once you have that pop clip out, it's a matter of just pulling it from the front. It's just held on by the tabs. And so that was the biggest issue. So I got to take this side off. I'll show you guys exactly what that looks like. I preferred this over the self-tapping screws because I was tired of having to re-tap them and re-tighten them like weekly. And I was not a fan of that process. But see, this, for me, this is pretty easy. The only downside to this way of doing it is anytime you want to take the lip off, you do have to take the whole bumper off because there's no other way to get to it. Do not be alarmed as this is upside down. So basically what I did was right here there's a little notch where I can put in. If you have a pry bar or a pry tool, that's probably a lot better to do than using a flathead, but there's an area where I can shove this in. I was able to last time and just try to pull this and get some leverage. There we go, just a little bit. And now, do my best Hulk impression and just yank this out because it's just clips. Well, carefully. Obviously, you want to be careful. Oh, looks like there is another clip up here, another pop clip. I didn't realize that this was here because I've lost it on the other side. And so there was another one on top. I didn't know this was here because on the other side, it has long since disappeared. And that's pretty much it. Just more clips on this side. Just clips, right? Ow. Come on, bros. There we go. Easy-ish, peasy-ish. Now that that's out, we'll get the new one. Run these wires through this hole right here. Line everything up. See. Lining. Yeah, that's going to be the hardest part, just lining everything up just to clip it back in. I don't know which side to do first. Having the lip on does make this a little difficult. Okay, that's in. Cables are in. It's lined in from the top, that's cool. Almost, okay, that's that. So everything is clipped in perfectly, except this one area right here. See how there's some space? I can't get this one pushed in. I'm going to try pushing this in some more. So I've been messing with this for about 10 minutes now, like taking it apart, redoing it, trying to push it in from this side and then pushing it from the other side. This is the best that I can do. This will not go, and I can actually see it. Once I pull it in, it pops back out. This one clip, I think maybe it's just not long enough. I don't know. I'll try this again once the bumper is back on the car. But as of right now, this just doesn't clip. So I'm going to try the other side and see what that looks like and see if it's the same situation. Unfortunately, it's the same situation over here. But again, like I said, it's fine everywhere else. It's just this one that pops out, and that makes this one pop out. So again, I'll try this one. The bumper is back on the car and see what it looks like. But besides that, putting them back on, very simple to do. Now we just got to figure out the turn signal cable, because we got to do some splicing on that, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about doing that. So to get to the turn signal cable, it's actually pretty easy on both sides. This one is a little bit harder because you have to reach your hand underneath, and you'll feel like this I actually just pulled it out. You'll feel this. That's what it is. And there's a yellow, it's this yellow cable that you need to tap into. So this is going to be interesting because last time I had to tap cables in for the turn light for the side mirrors. That was kind of a pain in the ass. This one was a lot easier to get to. I was actually able to pull this out pretty easy because there's so much space here to get my hand in. All right, now here's the tricky bit, is we've got to splice the yellow cable that's on the turn light to the yellow cable that comes on the aftermarket light. Now they give you a lot of light. They give you a lot of cable, but the question is how do? So I got these guys. Let me show you what this is. So it's one of those thingamabobbers. Where you put a cable on one side, snap it, cable on the other, snap it, and that bridge in the middle is what makes the connection. And so that's how it's going to be spliced. But the problem that we're going to run into is every time we take the bumper off, there's going to be a big old yellow cable connected. So what I'm thinking about doing is cutting this from here and getting one of those male-female plugs that have leads inside so that I can unplug this and take the bumper off. And just like I'm going to be unplugging everything else. So these are the things that you got to think about. It's hard for me to say if I've even done it right. Ooh, not good. Don't put tape on your hairy legs. So we'll see if I did that right. So this is the easy part. There's a harder part that we need to do. There's actually, oh man, this is going to be tough. There's actually a plug underneath the dash that needs to be plugged up, but since you cannot get the cable without buying the OEM kit, I actually got this suggestion from Cody. What he did was he just cut it up and connected the two cables. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is a very difficult angle, but you can see this right here. It's actually got pink tape around it, so you know this is the one we're talking about. And this is what needs to be terminated. They actually have a cable that comes with the OEM kit that basically terminates the two plugs on the inside and adds a fuse. Now there is, you can, what I presume Cody did was he cut this or ripped it, and there's two, oh, it's so hard to get this angle. Let me show you, because I really want to show you guys, there is, you can see right on the other side of this foam, you can actually cut the two cables and just join them together. It's just two wires, a pink one and a black one. Okay, you can see I basically ripped the plug off and I twisted the cable or the wires together. Now I'm going to turn the car and see if it even worked. If it didn't, I'm going to be really upset. All right, I still need to actually plug this up, so let me do that. Let's turn it on. Hey, it worked. Nice. It worked. Cool. That is cool. Now let's make sure my fog lights still work. My fog lights don't work. Why don't my fog lights work? Maybe because the car's not on. Oh, you know what? I'm dumb. I actually have to plug them up. I'm an idiot. I don't have it close enough to where the fog light is plugged up. That's on me. So it's actually fine. So now let's check, see. Yes, look at that. It does work. Nice. Nice. Everything works. Good. That works. The fog light I'll plug back in. No big deal. But the LED works. Oh, good. I'm glad. So that's really all it was. If you get the OEM kit, you'll have the connector underneath the dash. You don't have to be like us. So I'll just have to make sure that's properly taped together. It is an incredibly crappy area to try and get to. Oh, dude, that looks really good. That's pretty easy to do. I'm glad. So now all I've got to do is I've got to button up the other side, and this will be good to go. And I'll just like tape everything together to make sure nothing moves. Guys, look how good this looks. Now I've got the turn signals on. I've got everything plugged up. I'm gonna go turn on just the fog light, the LEDs without the turn signal. Everything turned out really well. I was surprised. The most time it actually took was getting the plug that's under the dash, which is a huge pain in the ass, and just getting everything wired up properly to the turn signals. Plugging it up was like pretty easy. And now that I look at it from the sides, it actually doesn't look that bad. Like when I go look at it, yeah, that part is still just, I mean, I was able to shove it in a little bit. It's not that big a deal. I'm not really gonna notice it. I'm only gonna notice it if I shove my eye in there, but really, I'm not gonna do that. So it looks from a distance, no issue whatsoever. Love the way that it looks. I can't believe it took me this long to actually get it. So this part's done. Now we're gonna move on to the steering wheel. All right, to be fair, there's tons of better videos out there on how to do this than what this one is gonna be, but I'm gonna do my best to try to explain everything I saw. I've seen Cody do this. I've watched the JD Muscle video, and I think I saw another random dude, some random chick actually did it on her STI, but I don't know how similar it is. Now, in order to get this portion off, there's 3 holes on the side of the steering wheel, right behind here. So there's 1, 2, and then 1 right below somewhere. Yeah, and all I'm using is one of these guys. I'm gonna see if this even goes all the way in. And basically what it's supposed to do is supposed to pop. Yeah, there you see, it moved. Now, safety, I've already disconnected the battery because I don't want to get smacked in the face by the airbag because I am not dying today. So as I push that in there, you can see it's lifted up. So you just got to find the hole on this side. There we go. That was a little problematic. All right, so on the back of this, there's 4 things that we need to unplug. There's a blue cable, orange cable, black cable, and this white plug here that needs to be unplugged. So we will do, this one just slides off. So we've got to pull these up, and I should be able to pull this out. So that's why I was a little wary, because I was like, okay guys, you sure? Okay, cool, so that actually just popped. Yeah, look, it's airbag. I have no idea what's gonna happen. Damn. Whew, that's kind of tight. Okay, so those 2 are off. So this, we're gonna put this guy to the side, and I still gotta take this white thing off here. Now this is the portion where we're gonna take the steering wheel off. There's actually a 17mm bolt. There's a 17mm bolt on the inside, which I did bring my tools. And the suggestion they did was take it off, but don't take it off completely because you need to shake the shit out of this steering wheel to get it to actually come loose. So make sure everything is still where I want it. Boy, that is actually on there pretty tight. I'm like shaking the whole car. Wow. I shook the shit out of that thing. But apparently that's what you got to do. So this guy's off. Carefully remove this. Suggestion is you want to keep this exactly where it was. I did bring some tape to keep that from moving. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some tape on there. It doesn't go nowhere. All right, so this part's done. We got the steering wheel out. Let's go take a closer look at it. All right, now let's take a look at some of the differences here. What's really cool, there's a lot of cool things here, because what I was telling you originally, obviously, first of all, this is a little bit thicker than this. The feeling of this is really nice. There's no grips on the back of this, no like little ridges here, whereas this one does have ridges for your fingers to go into, which is kind of cool. I like that. Still D-shaped on both of them, so that doesn't really change. This part changes because if you can see how I'm holding this here, it's just the same width, right? But look how much thicker that is. Compare those two. Look how much thicker that is. There's more here for you to hold, which I kind of like, because then normally when I'm racing, I feel like I'm actually having to cramp my fingers like that. That's how I have to hold it. Whereas this one, I don't have to cramp as much. It's actually in my hand. So that's a nice amount of differences. That alone makes it feel really good. So basically what we need to do is we're going to put this aside. There are quite a lot of things that need to come off this one and need to be transplanted on the new one. Obviously this area right here, the devices on the left and right, the little plastic clips on the inside actually need to be removed, and the metal cables need to go, or there's like the little clips that we push to actually remove the airbag, those need to be transplanted. Now I do know some steering wheels, if you get them from other locations, I believe the JD Muscle one, I think actually comes with the plastic clips in them, but I mean, removing them is not that big a deal. So let's get cracking. First things first, I think we're going to take this portion off. So we've got 2 Phillips screws in the back. I think these screws will fall out. Yes, there's one. The other one fell out as well. Something to remember, there will be this blue cable in the back does need to be removed so that it doesn't get pulled with the plastic trim. Does it pop? Yeah, there we go. So I pop that guy off. Is there anything still? Sure, nothing is still connected. Oh, there is a ribbon cable here. That does need to be disconnected. That's in that purple thingy. How do I get to it? Can I flip this around to get to it? There we go. Just had to stick my finger in and grab it. It was actually plugged into this part, which is these guys right here. So kind of important. All right, now that we've got everything exposed. Uh-oh. That's not good. Did I break it? Yep. They are clipped in there, and I broke one piece. I broke this, so be super duper careful when pulling this. I guess I'm just so damn strong. That's the problem. All right, so next up we got 2 Phillips on both sides to get the infotainment buttons. That's that. We do need to push the plastic WRX logo. They did mention it's super duper sharp, so don't cut yourself, which you know I am about to. That's kind of what I do. I haven't cut myself in a while. Oh, wow, look at that. I popped it off and I didn't cut myself. So we'll just put that over there as well. Next, we got to get these guys off somehow. So it looks like I can just push them right off. Very cool. And those are actually connected by that blue cable. So that is done. Everything is done. So this is, we still need to remove these plastic tabs and these little metal clips. These are what we actually pushed to get everything out. So you look at these guys. We have to push those to actually take the airbag out. So those got to come out. So this actually surprisingly was not that bad. I was thinking this was going to take me a while to do because I've never done a steering wheel before. And this was, with good instructions, relatively simple to do. So now that that's, whoops, kicked you guys. So now I'm going to start with these. I need to start with putting the tabs back in. Just going to go in reverse order. Going to take the tape off, make sure this doesn't move. Very important. Everything is on. Bring these cables through. Really don't want to move that thing. I'm trying so hard not to move it. Oh my God, come on, dude. No. Okay. That's cool. Plug everything back up. Put the nut back on. And there is a specific torque, which I've got the torque wrench with me. I will adjust that. I gotta go back and check. I think it's like 34 or 44 pound-foot, something like that. All right, now we need to put everything back together. So we got the white cable's back in there. The blue cable goes back on this little metal thing that's on the actual. It's on here. Orange clip backs in. Push the yellow tab in. Black clip goes back in too. Oh boy. And that's that. And now we just rotate. And that's that. All done. Look at that. Whoops. I'm an idiot. I forgot to torque it. Ugh. Now I gotta take it off again. That is super duper annoying. All right, let me get my torque wrench. Get this thing torqued down. Okay, so the torque spec that you're looking for is 34 pound-foot. That's what I got on my. All right, easy peasy. Now we can put everything back together. So overall, this feels phenomenal. The alignment, I'm gonna have to fix the alignment a little bit because this being off center is gonna bother me a lot. Overall, oh my God, this feels so good. It is such a good feeling steering wheel. I can't believe it took me this long to finally like invest in one of these. Who was it? It was Inactive Mughal, I wanna say. He was, he used to tell me all the time, get a steering wheel, get a steering wheel, get a steering wheel. I think it was him. And hopefully he's still watching because I finally got one and it feels fantastic. All the buttons work. I checked that before I left the house. What I want to do is I actually want to go and get some footage of the lights because the lights look amazing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm actually heading, I don't know where I'm going to go. Yeah, I got a spot over here I'm gonna go to. Hopefully they don't mind, and hopefully a coyote doesn't jump out to eat me. But overall, I'm very happy with this steering wheel. The steering wheel is fantastic. I mean, you get this, the bolstering on the edges is what feels really good. Like this part right here is where I feel the most, because like this is cool too, but like I don't drive like that. I drive like this, so this feels really good. So I want to say everything actually turned out really well. I love the steering wheel, and I love the way that the lights look up front. I just don't know why it took me so long to finally get this thing, get the front fog bezels. I think originally I was really hesitant because I didn't really like the piano black in front, but now that I know that is crystal silica black, it actually looks really good. So thank you so much for Rexpeed, for sending me these parts. I definitely will enjoy the steering wheel on a daily basis. I think Cody said it right. He actually said in his video that you stare at the steering wheel all the time. So there's one upgrade you should make, it's that. And I am going to 110% agree with him, because as soon as I drove the car for the first time after I installed it, I mean, my hands were on there and it felt so good. It's softer than the leather that the stock comes with, and the extra bolstering on the side, perfect. As for the rest of the car, it's slowly coming together. I am going to be at Subiefest Midwest coming up here. I think it's like September 24th. So if you guys are coming, definitely look for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Before you go, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hitting that subscribe button costs you guys nothing, and it gains me everything. I try to provide as much entertainment and information as possible, whether you're looking at my racing series, Vehicular Acceleration Testing, or you're looking at Tuner Talk, which is actually a great series for newcomers and veterans. My only goal is to try to make the VB community better, and I can't do that without your help. Thank you.